It's actually freaking mad. Don't you think it's actually really weird to think about the world as being 2020? Like we talk about the roaring 20s of like Gatsby and oh whatever. We're in them now. Like that was 100 years ago. We're in 2020. When I'm at work, I have to sign things 2020 and I keep writing 21, 20 because I go to write 19. It's so crazy that we're in 2020. Well, I didn't think I was gonna make it here, but here we are. That was a joke. Before anyone comes at me, that was a joke. But, before we start today, I would like to thank our sponsor for today's video, which is BetterHelp. Now, BetterHelp is the leading online counselling service with over 4,000 licensed professionals on their site to help people who may be struggling with mental health problems access therapy. It is not a crisis hotline. It's not there to be used in emergencies. It's there for people to actually want to access counselling and therapy. There are over 500,000 people that have received counselling to date over on BetterHelp's website, and you can access your therapist through phone calls, text messaging, video calls, and like scheduled chats. BetterHelp is also available to individuals worldwide, and it's got a really smart way of matching you to your therapist. So BetterHelp's algorithm helps each customer match to a therapist who is uniquely qualified to serve their needs. And best of all, the match only takes place in 24 hours or less, so it's really good. Also, it's paid by monthly subscription, which is really, really good, I think, because it means that you can access as much or as little time with your therapist as you would like during that month, and you wouldn't have to pay for every individual session. And if you're unable to access BetterHelp because of financial issues, then they provide aid as well for people who need it. So that's everything I'd like to say on BetterHelp. I really hope you will go and check it out. My link will be in the description. I'd like to thank them once again for sponsoring this video, and without further ado, we will get straight on into it. Right. Reflection on 2019. It was a very important year for me. Like, it actually was. Like, I'm taking the piss, but it was actually like a really tough, beneficial and growing year for me as a person. So let's talk about it. Let's just chat about it. So I asked over on my Instagram for any questions. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then follow me on Instagram, because that's where I'm most active, that's where I speak to you guys most and like post pictures. I actually posted a post all about 2019 that a lot of you might have seen, just basically outlining why it was such an important year for me. But I wanted to make a video too, because that's a good way to start the year, is reflecting on old times and not dwelling on them, but just seeing them, acknowledging them, hoping that they helped you, and then letting them go. So that's the way we're starting 2020, ladies and lads. What are my shoulders doing? Oh, I really like this one for the first one. So the first one says, when you think of 2019, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? And the first thing that comes to my mind, so 2019. For some reason, like, Olivia's 21st birthday comes to mind, and I don't know why. I think it's because that was like a turning point for me, because I was still in hospital at that point, but I got leave in order to be able to go, and I proved to myself that I was able to do it, and I think that was like a turning point for me. So, Liv, yeah, your party was one of my highlights of 2019. A lot of people... Oh, my sister is so annoying. She's just on FaceTime to her friends 24/7. I'm like, shut up. A lot of people have said, what's your proudest moment? And my proudest moment of 2019 was... Oh god, these are all making me proper think. Like, I don't want to just say some spiel. I want to actually think about it. My proudest memory was, I want to say leaving, I know I've just spoke about hospital, but I want to say leaving hospital, because I really think that was the last time I'm ever going to be in hospital. So I think leaving hospital is one of the proudest moments, because it was like the end of a chapter that I will not be reopening. So I'd say that. I'd also say when I was able to get for me, 2019 was a year of second chances. I got second chances of things that most people wouldn't have got second chances on, and I should be really grateful for that. So for example, like, number one, I didn't die. It's a pretty good one. But I got a second chance at life. I got a second chance with doing my A-levels. Because I'm doing it differently to how like you'd expect it to be done, you can't always do it twice or like apply twice. So the fact that I got to apply and it got accepted again for the second time, and it turned out even better this time, is just amazing. I think I got a second chance of just, I think this was like make or break. I could either have made myself this year or broken myself this year. I got a second chance of a relationship with Dylan, because we went out when we were 16, but we broke up for a year and now we're back together, so I got a second chance with that. I just got a second chance with so many things, and I'm so lucky to be able to get second chances, because you don't often get second chances in life, and I just feel like that was something that I really recognised and I really am grateful for. Like, I'm so grateful that I got a second chance of life, I got a second chance of changing my life, I got a second chance of like moving my life forward, and I got a second chance of spending it with the people that I love. Like, I'm very lucky girl. What was your best memory of 2019 and how far have you grown? Oh, I've had so many good memories. I've had great memories. I've had a lot. In 2019 I expanded my comfort zone a lot. My medication has seemed to like reduce my anxiety to like really, really low. Point. It's really helped basically, and I've been able to like go on nights out and like really enjoy them and make really good memories. I've met so many new people this last year, which I'm really grateful for, because they've shaped me and like I've learned stuff about myself through them. I've also rekindled old friendships, and we've had great memories with them. I'd say the best memory of 2019, I'm trying to think of what I've even done. 2019, what did I do? I mean, it was a difficult year because Pip was in hospital for quite a lot, and obviously Pip is like my soulmate, so it's really difficult when she's in hospital, because I'm like, I miss you babe, I need you out so we can do shit. But I would say 2019, it wasn't so much a year of like best memories. Like 2018 was like a year of like really good memories. Like I went to Bali. No, did I go to Bali in 2018? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, I went to Bali, like I went to Brighton, I met Rachel, like I did all of these things. I met Laura and Jess and like Zoe, and like I went to loads of different places. But 2019 was kind of like, I think I've just found a great metaphor that's come to my mind. I've been riding a bike through my life, and I tell you what, the paths that I've been going have been very rocky, and 2018 was like going down a really good long hill, and it was like, woo, really fun, like whooshing up, whooshing down, and then I crashed my bike, and this time in 2019 I put stabilizers on my bike. That is the metaphor of what happened. 2019 was my stabilizing year. I think I'm getting emotionally stable, guys. I mean, I do have emotionally stable personality disorder, but I'm really working on the stability of my emotions, so What has been the biggest lesson you've learnt this year and how has it changed you? The biggest lesson I've learned is... Why is my sister having so much fun? So rude. God, my heart just stopped because I thought I wasn't recording. Little did I know that I actually wasn't filming for any of that clip, so here's me refilming it just for you because you're so special, guys. Turns out I actually was not recording, so I'm really sorry for the interlude now. I filmed another like 20 minutes of this video and it wasn't on record, so I'm gonna refilm it. So sorry I look different, sorry. I was gonna be like, oh, shall I make myself look the same? And then I was like, the top's in the wash, I have to put my expenses in, like, no. So here we are. I was talking about the biggest lesson that I've learned. The biggest lesson that I've learned in 2019 is to try and just be a good person. And I know that might sound really stupid, but I mean in terms of being a good person to not only others but to yourself. And really, I think it's taught me that I need to look after myself a lot more. I was caught up so much in this like negative thinking pattern where I couldn't take away from it. I was addicted to having negative thoughts. I remember one time my therapist was like, Marie, you're addicted to negative thoughts, and I was like, bitch, what the fuck? And then now I'm like, yes, I was, because I used to feed off the negativity because it was safe and it was something that I knew. But now I've realised that if I put the same energy I did into loving myself more and being a good person to not only myself but to others and trying to do good, then that's really what life is about. When I had my breakdown in 2018, most of it was about 2018-2019. Most of it was about I was so confused about the world. I didn't know what the world was. I didn't know the meaning of the world, and that was something that just I couldn't fathom, and it was so difficult to try and get my head around. And now I just think if you try and be a good person, then that's all you can do. That's all you can do. And if you believe that what you're doing is good, then it doesn't matter what others think of you. Because I've had times before where I've been, you know, like shot down by people and told that I'm not doing things right and I'm actually damaging for people, and it's hurt and it's made me question my YouTube channel in general. But those are only 1 or 2 people, and I get thousands of people telling me that I've helped them in some way. So 2019 was, for me, just trying to balance myself. And I'm still learning, don't get me wrong, I'm still learning, because I have to learn the balance between putting myself first, which I never had done before, and I started to do in 2019, and putting others first. And it's actually a very difficult balance to find, because what you want is sometimes not what the other person wants. And that is one lesson that I've learned from 2019, and that's what 2019 has taught me. Do you regret anything in 2019? Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I do. And although I share like a lot of my life online, there are things that like I won't share and I just don't talk about, and that's okay. And things like the things that I regret are parts that I will not talk about. I just don't feel comfortable talking about them, but I've recognised them as a regret, and everyone always says like I shouldn't have like no regrets, no point in crying over yesterday. Do you know what I mean? It's okay to have regrets because you learn from them. Like you regret something so you don't do it again, and that's what I've learned in 2019, is that things that I regret I'm not going to duplicate. Sounds very weird when you say it like that. I'm getting mixed up with my words. So yeah, there are things that I regret, but I'm not going to share them. But yeah, all I'm saying is it's okay to have regrets as long as you learn from them. So this is a question that I didn't actually answer in the original time that I filmed before, but it's by healing.k by Ellen, and it says, what do you think you would say to yourself if you could go back to the start of 2019? I love you. I love you too. Great question. Great question. If I could go back, so this is what I looked like at the start of 2019. Yeah, I was not in the healthiest of places, in physical, mentally, spiritually. I would say to myself to listen to my wisdom, and that is something that listen to your wisdom, that is a phrase that I was told by a doctor when I was 17, and he said, Marie, when things get bad, listen to your wisdom. And it really struck a chord with me. It was on the 24th of January 2016. I remember it like vividly, and I was like, yes, this is true, because if you listen to the wisdom that's inside of you, you realise that it's inside of you, and it's you that can fight back. The only thing holding yourself back from getting better, sometimes it's just you. And that's what I would have to tell myself, is that you're the reason that you're not getting anywhere in life, Marie, and that's because you're holding yourself back. And I would tell myself that things are going to change, and I would smile at myself and I'd say things are going to change, and I'd give myself a massive hug, because this is the vibe for 2020, guys. Okay, we'll do 2 more quick questions before we go back to previous Marie, previously on Marie Rose. Joking, that's on. I'm so cocky. So the first one is favourite song, and my favourite song of 2019 was Saturday Nights by Khalid. Khalid was literally like my favourite person in the whole world. Yeah, I love him, so that was my favourite song. You should go listening to it, because it's really good. The last one is, what was the toughest part of 2019? I think there was 2 parts actually that were really tough. I think the first one was, this video is not wanting to be filmed. My battery is dying like every 5 minutes, so I'm sorry if I keep jump cutting. Anyway, the toughest time was when I was in hospital the first time last year, and my dad sat me down and told me that, like, I've got to change as a person, that I was selfish, and that things had to change because we couldn't go on like this as a family anymore. I think that was a really tough moment for me, but I needed to be told. I needed someone to sit me down and tell me, Marie, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Because at this point I was so lost that I needed to kick up the arse, really. So that was one. And the second tough part was the monotony of 2019. I feel like it was very monotonous. Like, everything, like, it was like day in, day out, same kind of shit, different day. But I remind myself that when I was in dark places, the only things that I wanted were boring things. I used to tell my psychiatrist, the only thing I want to do is go to work and walk my dog, like that's the only thing I want to be able to do. And so it was really tough, but it was trying to be grateful for these little things, and gratitude was, it blew me out of the water in 2019, because without having to learn about gratitude I wouldn't have changed as a person. I know I wouldn't have changed, because you've got to think of what you're grateful for when you have nothing. And I've never had nothing. I've always been privileged, and even if I wasn't where I am today, I'm a white woman, that is a privilege. You know, like, you've just got to be grateful for the things that you do have, and think of your life in abundance instead of lacking, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna cut back to past Marie. She was talking about the lessons that she'd learned in 2019 still, so roll clip. Sorry. And I've just learned that, like, you are the only person that can change your life, and until you want to change it, things won't change. No, that is actually the biggest thing that I've learned. You can only change your life, and your life won't change unless you want it to. And your life, you're in control of your life, even if it feels like you're not. You are. You're in control of your mindset, you're in control of how you think, of how you perceive things, and your perception is your reality. So if you're perceiving things as negative, then your whole reality will be negative. But yeah, I'm gonna dive into a hole if I carry on talking about that. But if you want videos of me talking about, like, the law of attraction and, like, how I've gained things that I feel like I've kind of manifested, then let me know and I will do that for you. And also, if you want, listen to the Icon's podcast. They're really good about the law of attraction. But I am gonna love you and leave you. Follow me on Instagram, subscribe to my channel, put the bell on, and yeah, I upload every Monday and sometimes a Thursday. It's going to be sometimes now because I can't juggle everything, but Mondays, mental health, Thursdays, maybe like a vlog, something else. And a lot of people have asked me to do an update on my mental health. That will come after the 14th of January, because that's when I have my psychiatrist appointment. So yeah, I'm gonna love you and leave you. Stay safe, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.